Hello everyone, VJose32 back again, and let's have a rundown at what's going on Kickstarter. I'm just gonna go through everything today, just a general recap since it's been a while. Bicycle Viola from Collectible Playing Cards is only 43% funded with 6 days to go. Not looking too good right now, but it will be made eventually. Either it's sold to the club members, or it'll be relaunched, or whatever. It's going to be made one way or another. Hallucinatory deck from Newt's Playing Cards is well funded, 4 days to go. Then there's this new one, Bicycle Stained Glass Playing Cards from Collectible Playing Cards, which is already 80% funded, 28 days still to go. Pretty interesting that one deck, which is still a very nice deck, the Bicycle Viola, is not doing so well, but it does have a much higher goal. And this new one they just launched a couple days ago is already almost funded. And here it is, a stained glass, very beautiful looking cards as you can see. The stained glass look. The goal is about, half of what the other one is. It actually has black borders and black faces, which is a nice, or black, borders on the faces and the back, so there's a nice contrast to the rest of the colors, as opposed to having white borders. Court cards, you can see they're using a standard look, but completely modified, and custom colors on the indexes and pips and whatnot, and just overall really cool. I definitely recommend it. Moving along, Vulcan Playing Cards from Nick Carter is 40% funded, 23 days remain. Still time for that one to happen, but it is going kind of slow. Entertainer Playing Cards from Eliza McBee is not going to happen, 25% funded, 5 days to go. Nobody really cares. Olympia Playing Cards from Steve Minty is funded, 33 days to go, and they're still looking to unlock a second deck, but they're about halfway to that stretch goal. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we'll see. Impressions Metallic Foil Playing Cards from MPC is very well funded. With 10 days to go, they unlocked a green deck, and it's increased funding a fair amount. Black Market Playing Cards from Misery Development is funded with 3 days to go. 3 different decks, as you can see. Looks pretty good, and printed by Legends. Kim Yi Playing Cards from Scapalapa, not a chance. This one's going to make it 0% funded still with 14 days to go. Nobody cares. Fatali from Andy Fisher is 37% funded with 12 days to go. Pretty nice looking deck of cards. It is struggling a bit. Not quite sure if it's going to happen at this rate. Surf Monsters from Outer Space from Krista Madden is 36% funded, 7 days to go. Not looking too likely for this one either. Then there is Cultura Playing Cards from Mankin Chan. It's 12% funded, 27 days to go. I think I mentioned this one the other day. Maybe not. We'll have a look. It's pretty interesting. It's going to be printed by Legends. They say it's got a retro flat design, or flat retro design style, whatever. 27 days to go. Here we go. I mean, the faces are okay, but they're not really something that I'm overly interested in. Actually, I think I did look at this one. Every value has a different theme to it. Different types of food, mascots, landmarks, vehicles, sports, etc., etc. And it's a whole bunch of stuff thrown on the faces of playing cards, and it just doesn't really do a whole lot for me. And then when you're limiting yourself to, just 4 different things per value, it just seems kind of limited. The back design I do like. Right there. It's very colorful. Reminds me a bit of the mustache deck from Vanda. But yeah, it's not really doing it for me too much. And I don't know if it's gonna make it at this rate, but it's still got plenty of time. Next, Mechanical Quartz from Alexander Liss is funded, 19 days to go. Ace of Blades, knife throwing cards, 2 from Ace of Blades, 45% funded, 14 days to go. Much like the original attempt, I do not believe it's going to happen. Untied States Capitalist Playing Cards from Ember Waves, It's 25% funded, 36 days to go. Still a little bit early to tell on that one. It's still got lots of time, but it is going pretty slowly. Dia de los Muertos second edition from Edgy Brothers is very well funded for 11 days to go. We're several $1,000s away from a stretch goal for the black deck, the third deck. We'll see if that happens or not. Fingers crossed. Though you can't tell that. Fuego, which is another Day of the Dead themed deck from Cellar Window, is also funded with 23 days to go. Royal Skeletons from Gadro Steve is 51% funded, 14 days to go. Not quite sure it's going to happen. There has been some improvements to the faces though, so that's nice to know. Here we go. I can actually look at them better here. He actually added indexes to both sides. He's also color coordinated every suit. Although they're similar, there's still differences. Like this one's obviously kind of a reddish color. This one's blue. This one's purple. This one's a different kind of purple. Some similarities, but differences. And the indexes are nice and clear now. But I'm still not a big fan of it. And I'm also definitely not a fan of this back design. So just a horrible one-way back design. And yeah, not a fan of it. At this point in time, I think it's just the changes came a little bit too late, and I'm not sure it's going to happen. Next up, the 1878 Restoration Andrew Doherty playing cards, Euchre playing cards from Michael Scott and Homegrown Games. 67% funded, 47 hours to go. It was 67% funded with 67 hours to go. In 20 hours, they got no additional funding. It's not looking too good at this rate. Like a couple of days left, and it's not going anywhere, which is disappointing. Maybe just people are not fans of Euchre, but it's still a beautiful deck of cards. Back to the Asylum playing cards from Noir Arts and Roman Kotiv. Is well funded, very well funded, with 13 days to go. Though I will say I'm not a big fan of the whole tier they've got for previous backers. It seems like previous backers are... It seems like they want previous backers to pledge for free decks when the only difference in one of them is a different tuck case. And it seems like they want us to pay extra for free decks, and it's only really 2 decks. And we already paid a bunch of money in the original project, and I don't know, it's kind of weird. Next up, Aztec Codex playing cards from Emmanuel Valtierra has relaunched. It is now 72% funded, 29 days to go. Looks like it's going to happen at this rate. It should. If it doesn't, that's pretty bad. It's not going to be printed by Make Playing Cards with some stretch goals. As you can see, they're very nice cards. Mayan themed. I like it. Or Aztec themed, actually. It's almost the same, I guess. I do like it. It's going to be printed by MPC. Smooth 300 GSM stock. There is stretch goals that they may hit. If they sell over 450 decks, they will print over 310 linen stock and an NPC. If they sell over 850 decks, they will print through expert playing cards. Not a big fan of that one. Expert playing cards has been majorly dropping the ball, delaying projects for months and months and months. Major delays in deliveries and a lot of dissatisfied customers, from what I can tell. There's definitely some creators on Kickstarter who are not going to be using them again. Moving along, there's this next deck, Bicycle Dimensional Playing Cards from Kamal Exom. It's 36% funded, 39 days to go. And this one, I am going to say, is a scam alert. I don't want to really say that's a scam, but they've got 4 different decks they want to produce for the USPC. They've only got a $3,000 goal. And every time somebody makes a comment about it, brings it up, in the comment section, they seem to dance around the question and avoid it, and they don't seem to want to answer. But anyways, there's 4 decks, an emerald, a sapphire, a topaz, and a gold. I mean, they look really cool. But he hasn't done his homework. I mean, $3,000 is not going to cover one deck, let alone 4 decks for the USPC. And if they think they're going to produce bicycle branded cards through Liberty playing cards, that's not going to happen. Liberty playing cards is not going to do that. And otherwise, it's just kind of false advertising, misleading. By the way, it doesn't even say who's going to produce them, though they're bicycle branded, so you have to insinuate that it's going to be bicycle USPC. Along the sides of the cards, it says something here. It's in a foreign language. Let me translate. According to United Cardists, it basically says the end will come before the beginning, or something like that. Actually, they just bear with me a second. I'll find out. I just gotta find it on my phone very quickly. Yes, okay. The exact quote is, before the beginning shall be the end. That just sounds really bad and suspicious. And now the creator has posted a comment on United Cardists, kind of bashing everyone. And it's BS. Anyways, moving along. Equal cards for the blind and visually impaired by William is not going to happen. 0% funded, 23 days to go. Nobody cares. Both playing cards from Rajiv Mangya is 3% funded, 12 days to go. That's not going to happen. Bicycle Runic Royalty from Keith Glover is 21% funded, 18 days to go. That's not looking too likely at this rate. It's been very slow. And I also question if he's going to have enough money to produce 2 different decks for USPC. Because there is a blackface deck as well. Cubic deck from Charles Wallace. I think I mentioned this one before. 14% funded, 20 days to go. Not looking too likely at this rate. Kind of like his iconic deck. As you can see, this one's just kind of a simple deck. And not very good. In my opinion. Moving along. Viking deck from Joshua Pomeroy is not really doing very well. 20% funded, 10 days to go. Would help if he had a little more artwork and a back design on there. I haven't seen that on his project page. Very little art. The double face deck, which is a gimmick deck from Bill Lee, is not doing well at all. 6% funded, 8 days to go. It's not going to happen, despite the fact that he says there is a lot of people that were interested in that. I'm not seeing it. Soto Tarot, which is a tarot deck from Eric Soto, is 13% funded, 25 days to go. I think I mentioned it before. I'm not a huge fan of it because it just seems like all sorts of random artwork on the faces and nothing really to do with what the faces are or represent. Then there's a Bicycle CMYK playing cards from Ian Eberle. It's 7% funded, 17 days to go. I do not believe it's going to happen at this rate. Rap Game deck of cards from Jordan Levinson. This right here is all the artwork that they have. Not a chance in hell that's going to happen. 0% funded, 14 days to go. Winter playing cards from Carla Pruitt is 97% funded, 3 days to go. It should happen. Only about $25 away, $26 away. So, yeah, it should happen. Lots of games, and that's it on Kickstarter. Very quickly on Indiegogo, Isometric playing cards is 72% funded, 13 days to go. It may or may not happen, as you may or may not know. Indiegogo does not usually do well with playing card projects, or they usually don't do well. Only one has been successful, that was the Fontaines, and that's not a big surprise of all the support he had. But this one is actually very close, so it may or may not make it. And then French touch playing cards, which is a pretty cool French inspired deck with French faces, is 22% funded, 17 days to go. That one is not looking too good. And yeah, the rest of these are failures. This one's obviously not going to make it. I don't even want to get into it. Chatfish. And that is that. There is one more deck I could tell you about that's coming soon. If I can find it. Actually, there's several coming soon on Kickstarter. The one I wanted to tell you about is Prism. Check that out. Pretty interesting artwork. It looks almost like he's using the NPC impressions style or artwork or yeah, whatever you want to call it. And apparently their preview is no longer working, so that's all we get. Should be coming soon. Not sure when. It's the night version, so I'm guessing it'll be a day version too. And then there's Architect coming June 1st to Kickstarter. I may or may not have a review for you in the near future. The prototype looks pretty good. And sure, there's others coming. I can't recall. Here you want to see. This is what the creator said here. You guys are so awesome for talking about my project on Kickstarter. I feel so honored that you would take the time out of your day to consider me for conversation, but this is not a scam. First, the font is symbol MT. Second, I have answered your question and in a polite manner, but you keep going. I don't have time to sit here and answer every bashing question you have. I have to keep my eyes on satisfying all my backers. Third, stop it or there will be things happening. Ooh, that's a threat. Fourth, if you want your group, clique, Teen Titans, Avengers, X-Men, whatever you call each other while talking on the phone at night, that don't pledge, then that's your prerogative, and I'm okay with that. You can track me from behind mask, and I'm okay with that, but stop posting defamation comments on my Kickstarter site. Fifth, I have been kind before answering your questions, but you persist in your bashing. This is the only and final warning. Sixth, the website is to my personal website, so you can see what I look like, see what my family looks like, and other projects I have handled. Also, to see my personal phone number, you can call me yourself and talk to me. I'm not hiding behind a mask. Just because I designed playing cards does not mean I'm limited to playing cards. I live in the U.S. I don't know about you, but scams don't go well over here. Why would I give you access to my home address and phone number if it was a scam? God, you people are so pretentious. Have a good day. Good grief. And I'm just going to say that if he is from America, he doesn't write English very well. Poor grammar. Anyways, that is that. I just wanted to share that. But I do not believe that. If you look at it right here, you can see that he has not answered any questions that people have been asking. He's been going around the questions. Anyways, that is that. I'll see you next time with more.